info from London. Okay, listen, myself and the team at Love in London, we obviously love London, okay? We do this as a job, we choose to live here. How could we not love it? And we know that many of you will love it too. However, some tourists don't. Some come and they end up hating London. But the truth is that usually the people who end up hating their time here, it's because they've made a couple of mistakes or assumptions that ended up ruining their trip. So to make sure that you have a great time in London and that you end up loving it, we're gonna tell you about those mistakes and what to do instead, so you have a fabulous trip to London. So let's go.
Oh, you so sweet. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Mistake number 1, you visited London during the peak season. London's peak seasons are the summer months when the kids are out of school, so that's generally June, July, until the end of August, and also the 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year. Peak season generally means there's lots of crowds, things get booked up much farther in advance, it's the highest prices you'll find for hotels and train tickets, and just general chaos. Oh my God, I remember going to the Natural History Museum between Christmas and New Year, and that is one mistake I will never make again. It was absolutely rammed with people and kids everywhere and was wholly unenjoyable. So you might want to avoid visiting London during peak season. However, I appreciate a lot of people can't do that. So here's what will help. Avoid visiting the most touristy areas and attractions when you're here. That's where you're gonna find the most crowds, around Westminster, Covent Garden, on the South Bank. And instead go explore more local areas like Shoreditch, Hampstead, Brixton, and King's Cross, where we are. You'll get to avoid some of the crowds because these areas aren't as affected by peak season, and you'll also just get to check out really cool areas that lots of locals like to come to as well. Mistake number 2, acting like a sheep. Basically, everyone who tells me that they don't like London does the same touristy route of Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey to Big Ben, over to the South Bank, and they wander around like zombies, taking the same picture as 9,000 other people and basically only seeing a sanitized subset of the city. No wonder why you didn't like it. You haven't actually experienced anything that is London. It can take a bit of effort and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but generally you will enjoy London more when you see the actual London, not the Disney version of it. Like going to a local pub and chatting with Londoners, or exploring one of our leafy green parks in one of our residential areas, or taking a graffiti class at the back of a contemporary art gallery in Notting Hill. That's when you'll start to love this city. Number 3, having too high expectations for the weather. Now, it doesn't rain in London as much as people think. However, the weather does vary significantly, both from month to month and even hour to hour. For example, as we're filming this, the sun's out, I see blue sky, it's raining on me. This is classic British weather. So if you're coming to London this summer and you expect to be in sundresses and shorts in the sunshine all day, every day, or you're coming in the winter and you think you're gonna have beautiful, lovely, fluffy snowfall all over Big Ben and the Tower of London, adjust your expectations. Have them really low, and if you do get good weather, it will be a pleasant surprise. Always have low expectations in life and you'll never be disappointed. I'm sure it doesn't come as a surprise to you guys that I like to document my own travels. And unfortunately, I don't always have my videographer with me with her swanky DSLR, but I still want my footage to be colorful and crisp and for the audio to be nice and clear. Well, that's why we are pumped to be working with Canon to show you the coolest new travel camera, the PowerShot V10. It's a camera specifically designed for people who want to capture amazing travel memories like a professional vlogger, but who want to do it in the easiest and most simple way possible. This tiny camera shoots in 4K and has a wide angle 19mm lens, which means I can get everything in the shot that I need to. I can literally just bring this little camera along with me. It's got everything I need, from a tiltable screen so I can do front and back recording, to a cute little tripod so I can set it up and get cool shots even when I'm traveling solo. It's super easy to use and has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, so So as I'm traveling and on the go, I can send all of the pictures and video footage right to my phone so I can instantly upload to Instagram, TikTok, and wherever I want to. And I can just keep it in my pocket. Super cute. Huge thanks to Canon for making this video possible, and to find out more about this amazing travel camera, the PowerShot V10, click the link in the description box. Okay, now back to the video. A lot of films that take place in London throughout various centuries often depict the population here as a certain type of person, usually wearing a cap or a top hat, saying cheerio and pip pip, ready to sweep a chimney or solve a mystery. And let's be honest, more often than not, it's a white dude. So a lot of tourists come to London thinking that they're gonna experience the quintessential British experience. But the truth is that London is one of the most diverse cities in the world, and these films only depict a very small subset of the population here. When you meet Londoners, they're from all over the planet with different backgrounds and different stories. What's amazing is that that diversity bleeds into a lot of different facets of the city, from the history to the architecture to my favorite, the cuisine. You can try literally any cuisine you want in this city and it's probably gonna be good. You'll feel like you've traveled all over the world just staying in central London. So if you adjust your expectations, you can see how beautifully diverse that this city is, and you can also experience and learn about multiple different cultures, not just one. Mistake number 5, you didn't research costs and make yourself a budget ahead of time. We recently had somebody email the Love in London team complaining about how he couldn't find any affordable accommodation options in London for his quite sizable family. And he said he was about to cancel his trip because he was not being catered to at the price level that he was looking for, which quite frankly was a really, really low level for London. Now, I'm not sure what he expected us to do about the price of accommodation in London, but tourists that come to the city and don't have a look at what prices are going to be before they get here are very likely to hate London. London is one of the most expensive cities in the world, so you do really need to do your research and know how much things are going to cost you, from a pint at the pub, to a meal at a nice restaurant, to a West End ticket. Otherwise, you are going to be in for a shock, and it's really easy to overspend and go way over your original trip budget. And being really clued in on what the costs are going to be when you get to London will help you to create a really accurate trip budget ahead of your time here, so that you can know what you're going to be spending a lot on, what you plan to save on, and how much you're going to be spending overall, so you won't get a big shock credit card bill at the end of your trip. Mistake number 6, cramming too much into your itinerary. Americans, I'm looking at you. You guys do this all the time. And listen, I know you get very limited amounts of time off work, but if you're not enjoying that limited time, then what is the point? I see lots of tourists, Americans, come to London and have these itineraries packed from morning late until night, where they spend hours walking and on the tube, on the buses, and they spend their whole time rushing around, running late, trying to get from place to place, and not actually enjoying anything that they're doing. I also see people trying to cram multiple different day trips out of London, even when they're in London for a short period of time. Even going to Paris for the day, that is 5 hours on the train in one day. That's way too much. How can you actually fall in love with the city and also enjoy your holiday if you're constantly rushing around on your feet and not actually taking the time to enjoy and soak up what you're seeing? You can't. I am giving you permission not to do everything that you want to see in London. Listen, some of us Londoners have been here for over 10 years and we have still not seen everything. There's so much to do, it is literally impossible. Also, don't forget, if you want a ready-made itinerary that helps you maximize your time for your trip without stressing you out and makes it super easy and a lot less overwhelming, then have a look at our pre-made London itineraries. Going all the way up to 6 days, they will help you to make the most of your time without being seriously exhausted after. Link in bio. There you have it. Now you're gonna love London. And if you want more tips to make your trip absolutely amazing, then watch one of our hundreds of other videos that we have, You can start your journey by clicking one of the boxes that's popping up right around me.